Peace, baby. So my name is Monica Bennett. The name of my business is The Positive Mind, and what I do is I really change people's mindfulness, because it's all about what is going on in our mind and to who we are in this physical body. And it's really important to understand how to change those thought patterns that repeatedly come up, those old patterns that make us who we are. And they all stem back from way back when we were children. And we actually are just a program, run on a program. From the time we were born till the time we were about 7 years old, we've been downloaded with the programs of everything that was taught to us since we were born. And even in utero, what we've been taught to believe is true. So those patterns are set in stone pretty much. That subconscious part of us is 98.99% of who we actually are, from what we heard, what we saw, what we experienced through our caregivers at that age. And so who's running the show? Who are we really? Are we just a product of our parents? Because your religion, what you like and your foods, everything about you is really a program. Like a computer, it's downloaded into your being. So how do you change those programs? How do we become what we really want to be? Do we even know what we want to be? And those are the questions we have to start asking ourselves when we get into trouble in life, when we see things aren't working the way we want them to. And we always go back, why isn't things happening for me? Why do I feel this way? Why do I play the victim? And I know this, and I wrote a book called How May I Serve. It's a memoir of my life so far, and it's about those programs, those patterns that keep on repeating themselves over and over and over again. And I was a classic victim. I played the victim, and I played her really, really, really well. It was like, oh, woe's me. I said, cry me a river. I had a whole orchestra of violins. I didn't have just one violin. I had a whole orchestra. I created such drama in my life because I desired the attention. I desired whatever it is that I desired, that I believed I was unlovable and unloved. So I was addicted to men. I would go from relationship to relationship to relationship to validate, please love me, please love me, please, I'll do anything for you. And I would do these things over and over and over again to prove that I was lovable, but I didn't really love myself. I was always looking out there for whatever made me happy, whether it was drugs. Did all kinds of drugs. The only drug I didn't do pretty much was heroin, but I experimented with a slew of drugs, alcohol, men. I did it all. I traveled the world. Whatever I wanted, I sought from out there. If I liked a guy, I'd follow him to France. If I liked him, I'd follow him to Ireland, and I did. I do whatever it takes. And boy, what do you need from me? You need money? Here, take this. I would do it all because I really felt so empty inside of me. And then I got married, and I thought everything was great. I wanted the kids, and I had 2 beautiful girls, but still I was unhappy. And the relationship of marriage started to get rocky again. Things, money issues, whatever else was coming up. And my husband and I were teetering, and I had an extramarital affair. I had a few of them. And my girls were starting to grow up, and I was still halfway. I was taking 3 steps forward and 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I was doing this little dance. I was starting to discover myself, but still on this slippery slope of who am I. So we eventually divorced. Of course, I had another guy move in with me right away because I couldn't be alone. I was too insecure with all that. And I would cook. I ran a business. I had a horticulture business. I ran the business. I cooked. I cleaned. I was managing his affairs. I got him, I could do it all. I could fry the bacon, cook the bacon, buy the bacon, slaughter the pig,
Bring home the bacon.
bring home the bacon. I was able to do it all. And I did it really well, I thought, until my older daughter, when she was 15, started doing drugs. And she became a heroin addict, and it blew my world to smithereens. And I really had to take a good hard look at myself and say, what the hell am I doing? What the hell am I doing? I had felt an obligation to help her, but I really had to look at myself. I really had to take a deep, dark look and saying, my life is falling apart at the seams. Now it's going to another generation. You see, I was born, both my parents were Holocaust survivors. They were born in Germany, horrific childhoods, and they truly were victims. It wasn't their doing, this war, but they were children raising children, my brother and I, so they had no idea how to raise children. So I grew up pretty much raising myself. I didn't have a clue, but I knew I wanted to be different. I knew I wanted to break those patterns. I knew there was a better life for me. I knew it. I just wasn't sure how to obtain it. But her addiction really got me down on my knees. And as I say, I decided to stay there and humble myself and really look at myself and do the work, whatever it takes, not only to heal myself, but to heal my daughter and help her in her addiction. Unfortunately, heroin is a pretty nasty drug, and as they say, you can't control it, you can't cure it, and you didn't cause it. I didn't cause her addiction. I felt responsible, and I felt guilty and shame and blame, and I went through the gamut of all these mixed emotions, which I eventually learned to release because they're useless emotions, but we inflict ourselves with these emotions a lot, don't we? I mean, we feel guilty, we feel shame, we feel all these horrible feelings, and they rob us of our energy. They really take away of who we are, and we're magnificent human beings having this human experience, but we're really spiritual beings. This is the dense part